Hi, I'm Julian Ashwin. I recently completed a PhD in economics at Oxford, and I'm currently a postdoc at London Business School. This video briefly summarizes my paper on multidimensional uncertainty in central bank communication. Central banks face two choices in a particular piece of communication. What should they talk about, and what should they say about it? A lot of literature is focused on the second point, but this paper focuses on the first. I'll start with a simple model to illustrate my intuition. Assume that there are n exogenous state variables, and for each of these variables, the central bank observes a private signal. This private signal S is a noisier version of the state variable. Central bank has limited communication capacity, but wants to make the private sector's expectations as accurate as possible. It does this by devoting a fraction of its communication to each variable. This creates a public version of its signal. If the central bank places greater focus on a variable, then the public signal better reflects the private one. The two figures here show the distribution of focus on variable I. On the left, we see that the central bank will focus more on a variable if it receives a more extreme signal, and on the right, we see higher focus if the underlying variable is more volatile. To test this intuition empirically, we need to be able to quantify the focus of central bank communication. I do this with a model that splits documents into interpretable topics. These topics can be associated with macroeconomic variables around which we can quantify uncertainty from surveys and the Fed's internal forecasts. Using these forecasts, I find that focus is higher on variables where there has been a more extreme signal. And furthermore, using forecast dispersion, I find that there is higher focus on variables around which there is more uncertainty. Here's a visual example. On the left, we see the words that define the topic about mortgages. And on the right, we see that the prevalence of this topic in the minutes moves together with the dispersion of forecasts for the housing market. So in summary, there are signals in what the central bank chooses to talk about. Central bank communication focuses more on aspects of the economy around which there is greater uncertainty, and they have a more extreme signal. And in the paper, I also explore the role of media in this context and co-movement in focus across different central banks. Thanks very much for watching.